Heyo, so I just got this package in from Toys Metaverse. The Interstellar Ranger. This is not Luke Skywalker, but it is supposed to represent him. It's like a custom figure of sorts. So let's check him out on the table. The brand is JNB Toys. I'm not sure if companies change their name or they have multiple names, but it's a really similar logo to the other brands of figures like this I've gotten. For my first impression, right out of the box, I really like him. He feels good. I'm pretty sure his look is from his appearance in The Mandalorian, but it's also the same look from Return of the Jedi, I think. And without this gray tunic part, it looks like it's his look from the Book of Boba Fett. Looking at what else comes in the box, we got 2 head sculpts, a hologram Grogu, blaster, lightsaber, 5 hands, but I'm not sure if I'm missing one of the gloved hands or not. 2 lightsaber effects, and this Dark Trooper body. Also this figure stand, which is pretty nice. How is the articulation? He does have a good range of motion in his head, shoulders, and legs. The knees have a good bend, and he can hit this kneeling pose. And one of my favorite tests is he can touch his head. The torso does have some good motion, but it's tight, and it seems to have a notched joint. I can kind of hear it clicking a bit. There is no thigh swivel, and the biggest negative I would say is that there's no ankle movement because of these boots. I do plan on modifying these boots and trying to just make an ankle joint, but we'll see how it goes. Overall, even though the articulation is relatively good, I feel like this base body feels kind of cheap. And just like I did with the Miles G figure, I'm also interested in swapping this body out and just seeing if a nicer body would kind of really take the figure up a notch. Taking a look at these different looks, this belt is removable and it has this little notch that it attaches to, and the tunic also comes off really easily. And then putting his belt back on, like I said before, I'm pretty sure this is his look for the Book of Boba Fett. The cape has a button to connect it, but mine started kind of losing a stitch and it was just falling apart. So I might end up putting a stitch, removing the button and putting a stitch just to make it all permanent, sewn together. And then a closer look at the accessories. For some reason, most Luke toys can't get Mark Hamill's face down. And I don't think this one is perfect, but I do feel like it's the best 1/12 scale version that I've seen. And I do feel like it just looks like a Luke. Not sure why this Grogu is a hologram, but he does look cool. The blaster looks kind of big, but it is well detailed. The saber and blades are good. They're solid. Although it was kind of difficult to put the blade in one of the hands. So I'm not sure if I can modify that some. This Dark Trooper body, it's pretty heavy. It's heavier than it looks. I think it's die-cast metal. The details are really cool, but it does have 0 articulation. Some size comparisons. Here's a Black Series Clone Trooper. And the newer Black Series Imperial Commando. Mafex Ahsoka, which I feel like that's a good size right there. And then the Black Series Ahsoka, which is also a good size. Here's the Mafex Mandalorian 2.0, and then Mafex Return of the Jedi Boba Fett, which I feel like he should be a little taller like that. Here's a Mafex John Wick and a Mafex Gambit. And a Mezco Krieg. And if Mezco did do Star Wars figures, it would be awesome. But this Void Cadet is like the closest thing they have, which is one of my favorite figures for sure. And he looks pretty good compared to this Luke. And here's Peely and SpongeBob, in case you were interested. And some good looks at SH Figuarts Anakin and SH Figuarts Luke, which used to be my favorite Luke, but sadly not anymore. And I do feel like this new Luke is going to replace him as my favorite. And then looking at this Black Series Vader, which is a good step higher than the Luke. So I like that. I like the size difference here. Looks pretty cool together. Here are some quick poses. After having him a few days, I have only liked him more with each pose and each photo. And I can definitely say he's my new favorite Luke Skywalker figure.